Prior to the Paris bombings, did you know anything about ISIS?
Yes, that it was a terrorist group from the Middle East, and maybe that it's an offshoot of Al-Qaeda.
Why'd you go to Paris in the first place?
To see the city, and see the old monuments and museums, of course.
Who did you go with?
My friend Stasia.
Were you expecting anything like this to happen while on your trip?
Of course not.
How did you find out about the bombings that were taking place?
After spending the day at Disneyland Paris, my friend and I came back to Champs-Élysées and wanted to go on the Ferris wheel because the Ferris wheel had been closed the whole week we were there before that. And so we got on the Ferris wheel and I got a text message from one of my employees, asked if I was okay. I said, of course I'm okay. Why? Why wouldn't I be okay? And he's like, didn't you see anything about all the shootings and bombings in Paris? I'm like, no. So he sent me a picture of the news that was going on there. And as I went up in the Ferris wheel, I start to look around and I could see all over Paris, all the different areas where all the police cars are gathered and all the ambulances and fire trucks.
How close were you to them?
Depends on when. I was in all the places where all the terrorist attacks took place within days of them taking place. I was maybe a half mile from the closest one to when I found out anyway.
Where did you stay while this occurred? Like, where did they tell you to stay?
They didn't. We went back to our hotel because everything was starting to close down. They were talking about closing the metro, so we went back to our hotel, and as we sat in our hotel, we couldn't get into our hotel. We had to knock on the door to get in, and they had armed security at the hotel. The owner of the hotel showed up, and he had hired a private security firm to make sure that nothing happened at our hotel.
What exactly do you remember while this was going on, like while you were in the hotel?
Oh my gosh. Well, we started out by watching the news. They shut down all the news channels throughout France. They shut down the internet for several hours. Basically, we were almost blacked out. We didn't really know what was going on other than we could hear shooting, machine gun fire for at least 2.5, 3 hours after we got back to our hotel, so they had to be 4 or 5 hours after the attacks, which, by the way, never made it to any of the news anywhere.
Is there anything else that didn't make it onto the news?
I don't know that the news really covered it well enough to say what a good job the French government did of shutting it down. As soon as the attacks happened, the police force, the military, everyone mobilized, and they basically shut down the country until they found the people that were responsible. And they had, the next day at Champs-Élysées, which is the shopping district, they had armed guards maybe every 100 yards. There was a pair of armed military officers, and then they started, some of the stores were open for like half the day, and then the military was going into the stores that were open, told them to close. The only thing they left open were cafes, so people could eat or drink.
So is that the only thing they left open after all the attacks before you left?
On the next day, yes, it was pretty close. We were worried about being able to get out of the airport because they stopped all the flights for quite a while. But when we got to the airport, they just had a little bit heightened security. You know, they really checked everyone's passport and made sure that no one responsible was getting out of Paris. It was a little scary.